The courtroom was silent just moments ago, until a shocking revelation changed everything. The name Sean "Diddy" Combs echoed through the halls in connection with one of the most mysterious and controversial deaths in pop culture history: the tragic and sudden passing of Michael Jackson. Yes, you heard that right. After years of whispers, anonymous blogs, leaked documents, and closed-door conversations, the court has just brought forth new testimony that could implicate the music mogul in ways that are as chilling as they are unexpected. This isn't some tabloid speculation or online rumor. It's now part of an official court transcript, and the world is watching. Today, we're breaking down the astonishing courtroom events that have just unfolded. These revelations could shake the foundation of everything we thought we knew about Michael Jackson's final days. What was Diddy's true relationship with Jackson? Was there a hidden power struggle behind the scenes? Did influential figures in the music industry see Jackson as a threat? We're about to explore every detail, every connection, and every piece of testimony that has suddenly brought Diddy into the spotlight of a mystery that has haunted fans for over a decade. Before we begin, a quick but important disclaimer. Everything discussed in this video is based on publicly available court information and media coverage as of the time of this recording. All individuals mentioned are presumed innocent unless proven otherwise. We are here to inform, to question, and to shed light, not to accuse. Now, let's dive into the shadowy intersection of fame, fortune, and fatality that has once again dragged a pop culture titan into the courtroom. June 25, 2009, a date the world will never forget. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was pronounced dead at the age of 50. The cause? Acute propofol intoxication, a surgical-grade anesthetic that was administered to him by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. That much the public knows. Murray was eventually convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 2011, and he served 2 years of a 4-year prison sentence. But even with a legal resolution, there were questions. Lots of them. Why was Michael Jackson taking such a dangerous drug to sleep? Why wasn't he under the care of a medical team in a clinical setting? And more importantly, who else knew what was going on behind closed doors in the days and weeks leading up to his death? While the official version of events focused largely on Dr. Murray's negligence, skeptics and fans alike always felt something was missing from the story. That feeling only grew stronger as former employees, business partners, and friends hinted at deeper forces at play. Michael had a complicated relationship with the music industry. After decades of stardom, he was battling with record labels over music rights, financial management, and his independence as an artist. He was in the middle of a massive comeback tour, This Is It, which many speculated he didn't even want to do. Some reports suggest he felt pressured, even trapped. And then, just like that, he was gone. But what if his death wasn't just the tragic result of poor medical care? What if someone powerful, stood to gain more from Jackson's silence than his success? As court records now surface connecting Sean "Diddy" Combs to previously hidden layers of this saga, it seems that some of those long-standing questions might finally get the answers they deserve. The connections may not be obvious at first glance, but when you start looking closely at who stood where, who knew what, and who had the most to lose or gain from Michael Jackson's absence, a disturbing picture begins to emerge. At first glance, Sean "Diddy" Combs and Michael Jackson may seem worlds apart. One was the king of pop, a global icon whose music transcended generations. The other, a titan of hip-hop who reshaped rap, branding, and modern music entrepreneurship. But behind the scenes, their worlds were more interconnected than you might think. The two met on multiple occasions at industry events and private parties. Diddy often spoke reverently of Michael's influence on music, but insiders have hinted at a more complex relationship. In the mid-2000s, rumors surfaced of a private conversation where Jackson reportedly expressed concerns about the new wave of moguls rising in the industry, Diddy being one of them. Jackson, fiercely protective of his legacy and publishing rights, was wary of those he saw as playing the game of corporate music too aggressively. One widely discussed moment was an awkward encounter at the 2005 BET Awards after-party, where Michael allegedly confronted Diddy about the treatment of young artists and the culture of exploitation he felt was growing in the industry. Though nothing was confirmed publicly, whispers of tension followed. Behind closed doors, both artists had business dealings involving Sony, Universal, and various joint ventures. Some suggest they were caught in competing interests over music catalog rights, including Jackson's valuable stake in Sony ATV. Could these business overlaps have turned into rivalries? And if so, did those rivalries escalate to something darker? While Diddy has never been formally accused in connection to Jackson's death before, some music executives have quietly noted that both men navigated the same elite circles that have the power to make or break an artist's life, career, and legacy. In hindsight, it's clear there was more to their relationship than meets the eye. And today's court testimony might finally pull back the curtain on what was really going on. In a jaw-dropping development, new courtroom testimony has revealed a potential link between Sean "Diddy" Combs and the final weeks of Michael Jackson's life. According to a key witness, whose identity remains protected under federal confidentiality laws, there were high-level meetings held in early 2009 involving executives, music financiers, and management teams tied to both Jackson and Diddy. In these meetings, Jackson's unpredictability and financial independence were reportedly framed as risks to broader corporate interests. The witness, a former executive assistant to one of the music industry's top legal advisors, claimed to have overheard a conversation in which Diddy's name came up in connection with a plan to contain Michael Jackson's influence. "He wasn't supposed to go independent," the witness quoted one executive saying. The phrase, "he's too valuable to lose control of," was allegedly repeated during these meetings. More alarmingly, the testimony suggested that financial pressures were applied to Jackson in the months before his death to push him into signing over additional rights and catalogs. According to documents presented in court, intermediaries working with major entertainment firms repeatedly tried to get Jackson to restructure his deals. When he refused, it was said that Plan B would be implemented, though what exactly that entailed remains unclear. The court is now investigating whether any of these efforts involved illegal or unethical influence. Diddy's name appeared again in a second testimony, this time from a former bodyguard of another A-list artist who claimed he saw Combs attending a private gathering where executives discussed removing obstacles to upcoming corporate mergers involving Jackson's music rights. The implication wasn't necessarily that Diddy planned harm himself, but that he may have been in the room, aware of the stakes, and possibly complicit in a larger campaign to neutralize Jackson's leverage. While Diddy's legal team has denied all allegations and stated unequivocally that he had no involvement in Michael Jackson's death, the court's decision to allow these testimonies signals that the issue is being taken seriously. The judge has also ruled that certain sealed documents from 2009 to 2010 will be reviewed again, this time under the lens of corporate conspiracy and undue influence. As shocking as this revelation is, it's just the beginning. Legal analysts believe this case could open the floodgates on an entire era of music industry cover-ups. If proven true, it would mean that one of the most beloved entertainers in history may have been a casualty not just of poor medical treatment, but of a ruthless behind-the-scenes power play involving some of the most recognizable names in music. As the news broke, the internet erupted. Fans, skeptics, and celebrities alike flooded social media platforms with disbelief, shock, and emotional reactions. Within minutes, hashtags like #MJ Truth Exposed, #Diddy in Court, and #Justice for Michael were trending worldwide on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. The collective reaction wasn't just one of curiosity, it was outrage. Some users expressed vindication, having followed conspiracy theories for over a decade. "We were called crazy," one post read, "but now it's in court. We always knew something was wrong with how MJ died." Thousands of fans reposted old clips of Michael Jackson speaking about being targeted, manipulated, and feared by those in power. "This is bigger than Diddy," one tweet declared. "This is about an entire system that used him and spit him out." Meanwhile, several celebrities broke their silence. LaToya Jackson tweeted, "My brother knew things. He felt threatened. I pray this case finally brings him peace." Others, like Akon and Quincy Jones, declined to comment directly, but posted cryptic messages about truths always surfacing and justice having no expiration date. As for Diddy, his team released a brief statement via his legal representatives denying any and all involvement, labeling the witness testimonies as baseless and fabricated. The statement emphasized Diddy's legacy, philanthropic efforts, and cooperation with the entertainment community over the decades. Still, public opinion is swinging fast and hard. Online forums have started reanalyzing past interviews, red carpet encounters, and financial timelines between the two artists. Video bloggers and analysts are creating detailed timelines mapping out Michael Jackson's business negotiations and Diddy's major power moves. It's no longer just a celebrity scandal. It's a movement to reopen the truth. To truly understand how this could have happened, you have to understand the mechanics of the music industry, a place where loyalty, legacy, and even life can be bought, traded, or buried. Michael Jackson wasn't just a superstar, he was a businessman. In the 1980s, he made a move that many industry insiders never forgave. He bought the ATV catalog, which included songs from the Beatles, among others. By the early 2000s, MJ's ownership of this catalog had expanded through Sony ATV to include over 2 million copyrights, making him one of the most powerful figures in music publishing. That power came with enemies. According to industry insiders, many felt threatened by how much leverage Jackson had. He could block deals, sway negotiations, or demand higher percentages than anyone else in the game. The court is now looking into how this influence made him a target, not just financially, but personally. And here's where Diddy comes in. Diddy built his empire by being at the nexus of business, culture, and brand. Like Michael, he held significant ownership in various ventures, but he was more willing to play ball with corporate interests. The difference? Jackson wanted out of the system. Diddy worked within it. Could it be that Jackson's defiance and Diddy's compliance brought them to a fork in the road, one where their paths and the powers behind them clashed? That's the theory currently under legal examination. And if true, it paints a disturbing picture of an industry that not only rewards loyalty but punishes independence with the highest possible cost. Diddy has never been a stranger to legal scrutiny. Throughout his decades-long career, he has been involved in numerous lawsuits, controversies, and accusations, though few have ever led to formal charges or convictions. Still, the pattern is hard to ignore, and now that his name has surfaced in the context of Michael Jackson's death, the spotlight on his past is shining brighter than ever. One of the most infamous incidents occurred in 1999 at Club New York, where Diddy was charged in connection with a shooting involving then-protege Shine. While Diddy was ultimately acquitted of all charges, the trial attracted immense media attention and raised questions about the people he surrounded himself with, and the lengths he would go to protect his brand. In the years that followed, numerous former bad boy artists came forward with stories about their contracts, finances, and relationships with Diddy. Mace, for instance, accused him of robbing artists and using them to build his empire, only to discard them when they no longer served a purpose. Loon, another former label mate, echoed similar sentiments after leaving the industry and converting to Islam. Diddy has also faced civil lawsuits, including ones alleging assault, breach of contract, and misconduct, though many were either dismissed or settled out of court. Each time, Diddy managed to maintain his public image, often deflecting controversy through philanthropy, media appearances, or business distractions like launching a new vodka or clothing line. But the connection to Michael Jackson's death takes the narrative into uncharted territory. This isn't about a nightclub or contract. It's about a pop icon's life and a legacy that millions around the world cherish. If it's proven that Diddy even indirectly played a role, it could mark the beginning of a fall from grace, unlike anything we've seen in modern music history. With the court allowing these new testimonies and sealed documents to be reviewed, the next phase of this legal saga is set to unfold. Over the next few weeks, additional witnesses are scheduled to take the stand, some of whom are said to be former managers, label executives, and even employees who worked at Jackson's Neverland compound during his final months. Legal experts believe this could lead to a larger federal investigation into collusion and racketeering within the music industry. Subpoenas may be issued for email logs, contract records, and financial statements connected to both MJ's estate and Combs Global. If prosecutors uncover even circumstantial evidence of conspiracy, this could open the door to criminal charges or a civil trial involving wrongful death claims. Diddy's legal team is already preparing a defense, likely arguing that any conversations or meetings were taken out of context. However, the public and the press are hungry for transparency, and this story is far from over. More depositions are coming, and media outlets are reportedly racing to secure interviews with insiders willing to break NDAs and speak out. The ripple effect has only just begun. As we wrap up this explosive update, one thing is certain. The truth about Michael Jackson's death is finally starting to surface, and it's far more complex, sinister, and disturbing than many ever imagined. Whether Diddy is proven guilty or simply caught in the crossfire of a much bigger machine, his name is now permanently tied to one of the most tragic chapters in music history. This case could change how we view celebrity deaths, corporate influence, and the price of legacy. It also forces us to ask hard questions about loyalty, silence, and power, especially in an industry built on profit over people. Michael Jackson was more than an entertainer. He was a visionary, a businessman, and, according to many, a target. If you made it this far into the video, drop a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Diddy had any involvement? Or is he being used as a scapegoat by others hiding in the shadows? We want to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. We'll be covering every update as this story continues to unfold. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned. The truth always finds a way out.